Before we start, I'm going to put out a disclaimer. I'm looking into this game last night with the fact that it's just a pre-season, and that was it. It was a pre-season against a team in the United States of America who are third bottom from of the table and have shipped past 50 goals past them this season. Am I going to take anything from that going forward for the season ahead? No, it was just a pre-season game to get the fitness up of the players and for Brendan Rodgers to see certain players. So I'm not going to take too much from it. I didn't watch it, I'll be honest. I ended up going to bed. I seen about 5 minutes in and I was like, I'm knackered. But I did find one interesting video, and it's just typical American sports people, sort of folk that go to sports games and not in America. It's just the way that it's funny when you see different nations and how they look at football, but they play soccer. Celtic fans giving it large. What the fuck? And it's do you know the funny point? The funny part of that video is the two younger girls that are sitting on their phones remind me of my daughters when they were probably around about a similar age. And if the game was rubbish, the youngest one would sit on her phone, and then if we lost a goal, the oldest one would go absolutely mental, saying it was her fault because she's here, she's not even interested in the game. And she would blame the younger one, which was quite funny. Anyway, we are going to listen to Kasper Schmeichel. Kasper Schmeichel did land in DC last night, and we're going to listen to the interview with him on Celtic TV.
No, it feels good to be here. I'm really, really happy.
Yeah, and you got a chance to see your new teammates in action tonight. What did you make of them?
They did well. We could have had even more, but yeah, it was a really good performance. I thought these pre-season games they can be really difficult. They're mid-season and a poor pitch, but I thought everyone handled it superbly.
Yeah. You've got to look at Schmeichel on the Celtic TV. He looks absolutely buzzing to be at Celtic. He honestly looks absolutely buzzing. He's got a massive smile on his face, and he's like, he looks buzzing to get started. It's brilliant.
We're thousands of miles away from Celtic Park. You know the size of Celtic, but to see the thousands of supporters here tonight, how does that make you feel?
Well, I want to say I'm not even surprised. I mean, yeah. I've obviously played in Scotland many years ago, and I know the size of Celtic. But I've come off holiday, and there was Celtic fans at the hotel that I was staying at, and even as I flew, there was Celtic fans on the plane on the way to watch this game. So, yeah. Wow. It's incredible to see, but it just goes to show the size of the club.
Yeah, I know you're great friends with Joe Hart, and you have taken over the number 1 jersey. Have you spoken to Joe either before or since you've signed?
Of course, I've spoken to Joe many times during the time he was here, and obviously leading up to his retirement, and obviously now that he's been retired and been a pundit now. So, he only had good things to say, and obviously I started following Celtic a lot closer when he joined and saw the kind of admiration the fans have for him, and he got an incredible send off, and fully deserved. So big shoes to fill.
Yeah, I'm just wondering the fact is this has obviously been in the pipeline for some time. Just going by that little comment, yeah. As soon as he announced his retirement, I started speaking to him even more, and. Brendan Rodgers isn't a silly man. Brendan Rodgers would have known the situation, and or maybe I'm just marking all crossing the I's and dotting the T's. Maybe I'm just doing that. But I don't think that it's something that's came out the blue. I don't think it was a phone call that was just made a couple of weeks ago anyway. Put it that way.
You're soaking it all in just now, but how much are you looking forward to getting on the training pitch and then eventually getting in front of the supporters at Celtic Park?
Can't wait. It's like I say, it's been a whirlwind, and now I just want to get playing football now, and I can't wait.
You've achieved so much in the game already, Kasper. Are there things that you hope to get out of Celtic that you haven't got from your previous clubs?
A treble.
Trophies. I mean, that's what football's about. It's about
That's
winning
treble.
and coming to a club with such a rich history of winning.
Yep.
A culture of draws on enough. The only thing that matters is winning, and that's the one thing that I really love about this club is that's the mentality that
Perfect.
you have to go out and win every competition that you're in. So can't wait.
Can't wait. The smile on the guy's face is absolutely brilliant. He honestly looks buzzing to be at Celtic, and it's brilliant to have him. It is brilliant to have him. I think that Celtic have done the right thing, and I also think that this isn't something that's just came out of the blue. I don't think it's something that's came out of the blue. I think there has been obviously conversations in the background for some time to get him in, and I think that that's something that Brendan Rodgers has obviously had planned, and the fact that they've got in Sinasalo, who played last night, and by all accounts was actually really good. It looks a safe pair of hands for the future. I think this has been Brendan Rodgers' little master plan. Let's see what the manager had to say about the game last night.
On them.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll have a great night as well. So it's been absolutely fantastic having so many here coming from all parts of the world, not just America. So they always turn up, and it was great because that gave the intensity in the game for us that we wanted, and real special support.
Let me ask you about your team's performance then. It was 4-0, but in all honesty, it could have been 8 or 9, the chances that your side created.
Yeah, I was really pleased with the performance in terms of this stage of the season. I think I mentioned before the game that one of our key targets in the game was that defensive intensity, because I always think that when you have that defensive attitude in the game, then that brings the offensive attitude, which is fast, dynamic. And I thought we pressed the game so well. All the guys from the first whistle really there in contention, making the last step to win the ball. And from that sped up our offensive play. So some of our football on a really, really difficult surface was exceptional. And then the moments we had to defend, we did that. So our physicality really good at this stage where we're at. So across the board, lots of young players playing and doing really well.
I was going to ask you about the pitch, because for those that didn't know about the concerns with the pitch, you probably wouldn't have noticed with the way that your team played.
No, I said to the players also, I said that this is a game also, show technically how good you are. It's a wee bit like when I said about Kilmarnock when we played there, the AstroTurf pitch when we won the title. Let's not have no excuses. We're here to increase our physicality, improve tactically, but technically, let's get your first touch, because the first touch is the characteristic of the top player. And tonight you wouldn't have thought, because of how they cope with the ball, the technique, how they could play, allowed us to play forward. And it was really, really impressive.
Yeah, I know the result isn't everything at this stage of the season, but the boys like winning football matches. That must give them just a great end to the week.
Yeah, no, it's been a hard week for them. They've put in a lot of work in the heat. But yeah, to come here and finish off the week like we did, score the goals that we did, really, really good goals, had other chances as well. Bed in some of the youngsters into the structure as well, who've done well in the training, so they get their reward in the games. And just another step for us.
Yeah, and just finally, Kasper Schmeichel is here. If he didn't know the size of the club before he does now, you've had a chance to speak to him, I take it, yeah?
Yeah, I spoke to him at length. Again, he always understood the size of the club. And I told him beforehand that, listen, Celtic is a massive club, but it's small as a family inside it. And he'll find the Celtic family is like no other, So, it's just, he sees the hallmarks of a big club. He was brought up with his father at a huge club. So the support outside the hotel, all these symbols of the notion of a big club. Celtic supporters are everywhere, and he'll feel that during his time here. So I know he's really excited, and I'm excited for him also.
Good. He's excited for him also. I'm going to jump into the land of Twitter to see what some of the Celtic fans were saying about the game last night, because there was a lot of fans that weren't too impressed with some of the play, some of the players, and I'll just get their take on it. Obviously, it's I didn't watch the game, but I did see the goals from the Celtic view thingy, showed the Mattarelli goals, Kyogo missing. I didn't see the penalty that was missed. A lot of people were saying that the penalty. A lot of people saying that Yang should never play for Celtic again. Neither should Kobayashi. Interesting one. First up is never put him out there. Talking about Mikey Johnston. What is this Nike MJ90 nonsense? Oh my goodness. Never put him out there as first one. Let's go. And then the next comment is Ohm, Anderson, O'Reilly, Taylor, all excellent. Yang, Kuhn, Kyogo, all poor. That's an interesting one. That mob are shocking. They're halfway into their season. Not got much hope for them. They're third bottom of the table. That's what I said. Don't look into too much. And they've also shipped 50 goals, which is more than anybody else in the league. By a penalty taker, Ohm was excellent, which was good to know that according to Kieran, Ohm had a good performance. Good performance by the boys, says Stephen. Don't put him in a photo again, you'll ruin it. Talking about Mikey Johnston. And Lowell should never play football again. That's an interesting one because Mohammed Bosun Lowell seemingly had a good season last season. Punt Yang, please, says the next one. We hate penalties. We haven't evolved. We have evolved past the need for Yuki, Kobayashi, and Yang. That's an interesting one. It could have been 8 or 9, says the next one. And Matty says, cheek to put Mikey Johnson in there, another performance. And I've got to say, the fact that James Forrest has kind of taken off from where he finished off last season, going by the highlight reels, and he took his goal well and he put in a good cross for one. So Mikey Johnson, I'm not too sure. Forrest, are we really still going to be at the level where we're going to be going with James Forrest again at the beginning of the season? Excellent, only seen 8.37 minutes. Well done, Celtic, says Stuart. I think I was probably about the same, Stuart, to be honest. Give him more chances. Get Mikey Johnson out, says the next one. DC United are actually one of the worst football teams I've ever seen. They were rotten. This is another comment, says Mick. Linda says, look what my did team to your American teams. Sorry, but it was... leave that one. Surely this must be the last time that Mikey Johnson pulls on the hoops top. He is brutal, isn't he? Says Nicole. He'll never be Celtic class. Ohm and Anderson looked the part, according to this comment. Mikey Johnson, Yang, and Lowell were all poor, which is a shame because a lot of people had high hopes. Tell me in the comments if you did watch the game and how did the players fare in your opinion. Two good halves of football. Kobayashi had a decent run out. Jamesy showing a great piece to pick up from last season. Mikey Johnson done all right. New goalie was pretty confident. Matt just as classy as ever. Lots of positives to be taken out of the game. Decent performance for pre-season. Lowell and Mikey Johnson, the only weak links in my opinion. Well, apart from skills, you'll never convince me that he is a footballer, says Bart. And then the last one goes to Luke Sharp. Should have scored 8 or 9. Getting a top quality left back, central defender, striker, and a winger. And we're cooking for next season. Tell me your thoughts in the comments and what you think of the game last night. Did you watch the game last night? And we'll probably do another video and then a couple of hours or so. Might even do a live because it's Sunday. And we'll talk about Celtic and any potential signings and players that we need in. Because let's face it, we do need some players in. We can't go in with the season and into the Champions League with this current squad, surely. I mean, the manager will know that we need some quality additions. It's okay bringing a lot of the younger boys in and they'll cement their place in the team for the season. And when I say their place in the team, I mean the first team squad. They won't go back down and drop into the B team. They'll stay in the B. They'll stay in the first team and they'll see if they can be integrated into the team throughout the season, which is what we all wish for the younger players. And then there'll obviously be younger players that Brendan will go, do you know what, you're going to have to go back out on loan for a season because you're just not there or thereabouts as yet. Anyway, it is Sunday. It is, what time is it for me? It is 9:47 in the morning and it's 32 degrees. Pray for me today. It's going to be a hot one again today. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, all around the world.